In through the nose, expanding the belly. Out through the mouth. What a beautiful day, and a wonderful time to be alive. So we've talked about a lot of things up until now, and today is especially an important topic, boundaries. In order to create a boundary meaning create some kind of a separation or a distinction between where we begin and where the next energy begins. We must know our own energetic signature. We must be able to feel ourselves, and we must know where we are. Where we are, how we are, and how we feel. We need to do this in order to be able to know what someone else's energy feels like when it's on us, or in us, or around us, and whether we want that. There might be times where you are with someone in their presence and you have emotions or feelings or even just a thought like, or just a desire like I want to move away. You might even just move away unconsciously. On some level, you're sensing that the energy that is being emitted isn't something that feels good for you. And in order to know that, we need to practice self-awareness, going inside, recognizing how we are, who we are, and being able to express that. This work that we've been doing up until now has been just about giving you tools, letting you into the practice that I've grown to love and utilize just to align and embody, to maintain deep work. This is not where deep work is meant to be done. The domain of the subconscious, the body, is a place where you can create space for deeper work to land. It's just not an efficient or an effective place to do deep work from the same level of consciousness, right? Because as someone famous and wise once said, you cannot create change that's sustainable, especially at the same level of consciousness at which it was created. So it's not that we should do away with work from this plane, it's simply that we have to have the right perspective of it. Is it the most efficient? Is it valuable? Is it the best thing for us right in this moment? If that is yes for you, great. For most people, what I've found is that it's an entry point. It's a place where you can begin and a place where you can return because it's so tangible. And often the things that we are feeling and thinking and feeling like we need more or less of, that maybe we feel we're missing or aren't able to receive or maintain, tend to be intangible. We want more abundance, we want more peace. We get stuck in states that we can't get out of. So when I hear those things, what I hear is that what we really want is choice. We want to be able to move into our fullness of our expression and then return to this place where we live, which is home, this temple, this groundedness, this ability to have experience. If we operated in the world as our true essence, which is the all, we wouldn't be able to have experience. So we decide and we choose to have certain experiences. I remember the first time that I held my little niece's hand in mine, this little 3-year-old, in the public. This is what happened. My head was on a swivel. I began to embody this sense of protector, ultimate protector, so focused and so solid and fire. I will see you and I will destroy you if you make a move. You think about moving in the direction that is harmful to her, you are finished. Done. Right? This focus. I felt that come over me. And it is a coming over. It's an overtaking. It's a rising up of this part of ourselves that remembers what needs to happen right now is this young innocent being that is my blood. It must be protected. Like, and this happens. That's not how I walk around the world any other time where I feel like I need to, right? But that. And so the gift of being embodied is to be able to, yes, fire, yes, fire, find that fire. Yeah, like go there. And then also soften back into innocence and be joyful and light and free, because that's what she wants to be with. She don't want to be with angry or hyper focused on one thing, protecting her. Like, she wants to be with fun auntie. And the really beautiful thing is we can also choose to be aware of our surroundings, have that clear protection, and also be innocent and joyful with her, because it's an energy, right? I can choose to protect us with energy and guide us through this new scene. We went to the Ice Capades. I get in these crowds of people that I don't know, in the sense that we normally state that we know people, right? Well, there's only one of us here, but you get what I'm saying, right? Strangers per se, that maybe are dysregulated, are in pain and looking to hurt someone else because they're in such deep pain. Maybe they don't have the tools to outlet themselves. And so we're in frenetic energy. We're in people who are just all over the place and have agendas or intentions that aren't in alignment with what we're doing, which is just to be joyful and have a good time at this event. And so we can create these multi-dimensional experiences for ourselves where we are able to experience all aspects of ourselves and choose one that best fits the aligned choices that we're making in this moment. What are we creating now? What am I creating? And so we choose how we want to be in order to create that thing. And so the truth is that all of us are oriented from a place of some flavor of not enoughness. We are seeking either significance, or we're seeking to be perfect, or we find ourselves trying to hide or manage everything and control everything, or, there's some aspect, some part of ourselves that is trying to work it out, right? And if we don't recognize that and have access to a greater range of felt experience, of choice in how we want to be and show up, then we end up creating outcomes that are undesired in our hearts. And we also feel like we're in conflict with ourselves, because there are only three really, all the things that we experience that are in the way of our felt sense of our wholeness come down to those three primary things that can be expanded. So they are stuck energy, that's unexpressed emotion, that's unprocessed trauma, that is undigested information. And then we have inner conflict, where one part of us wants something, another part wants something else. And they're both good at what they do, and they're both not wrong. They're both wise and intelligent and doing their job. And then we have this sense of powerlessness that we create by not being in choice, by making external things more powerful than ourselves, by making what we do and how we are and what we receive and experience depend on something outside of ourselves, approval or conditions or circumstances being a certain way. None of it is wrong. It's all valid. It's just whether or not it's in alignment with what you're choosing to create today. And so deep work in identity is really meant to be done from a higher perspective. It's meant to do this work from a resonance with a higher frequency, because from a higher perspective you see more, you see it all. From a limited perspective, which is what we're choosing as a human being on this planet, just a human that's being, we're choosing a limited perspective on purpose so we can have a particular experience. And so the evolution is that we expand and we awaken and remember that we are the all, and then get to choose what experiences we have. And so rising up, thus rise and move, not just getting up hella early, but rise means rise up into your higher self so that we can have a higher perspective and greater influence over all aspects of ourselves. And so superconscious recode is a fantastic modality for that, and I utilize that a lot in my practice. And then there is our intuition that is aligned with our essence, being able to know not just how it is now, but to remember the future. We all have this ability. And all of this really amazing alignment requires us to have a practice that sustains the changes that occur in deeper work, and have a way to create space when we're feeling very almost kind of full of the past experiences, the emotion that's left, the stuck energy, the misalignment, right? All the things, the conflict. When we can't see clearly beyond that, sometimes we need to create space. And so this work that we've been doing for the last 16 days has been about that, about simply creating a practice that allows us to be aligned and embody the things that we are releasing during deep work. And to release enough, just enough, so we jostle and create some space to be able to do deeper work and or to find ourselves again and remember our center, so that when we move into the day, we're not one of those people who is dysregulated or feeling so much pain that they want to hurt someone else, or being overtaken constantly by other states of being without choice. And that's what we need right now. We need people who are self-leaders, people who are embodied in their energy, who know themselves so well that they have choice and they've been practiced so well in remembering and aligning with the truth of themselves that they can lead from that place and they can communicate from that place and relate, be in relationship with themselves and others and the world from that place. So that's what we're doing here. If you want to do deeper work where you shift your identity and you expand and you have range and you have choice again, let's do a free consult and align, plan with what you're choosing to create now in your life. Maybe it's something different than you've been able to experience before. Abundance, peace, maybe self-doubt, confidence, like actual confidence, not just like trying to convince yourself of it, right? That's deeper work. This is maintenance and creating space. That's what we've been doing. And it's giving the space for what we are focused on that day to land, right? So we do some shaking, we do some vocalizing. It's not meant to be an all-out somatic release. I will share a practice that allows you to do that. So we're just creating some space. And we do that with our awareness, because our awareness is powerful, it changes things. Putting our attention on something changes it. Double slit theory, a wave to a particle is through observation, right? You can actually change things by just looking at them. And so awareness is powerful, and that's why it's where we begin. It also gives us clarity about where we want to go, because deep work is best done when you have a focus. Deep work done globally or in a general way is, I would say, gives you a felt sense of being lighter, maybe in a moment, so it's not bad. I would say it's not the most efficient or effective way to actually create a life that you love or to create a long-lasting transformation, because we are oriented in a way that we have this sense of not enoughness, and whatever that is for us, it is how we orient it. It is our identity currently, and it's how we're operating in the world. And so to be able to do work that shifts that, doing it at the same level of consciousness, is temporary and limited. To be able to do deeper work, we must rise up and come from a higher perspective, one that has global view of it all. And so today we'll work with boundary in a way that allows us to feel ourselves in a boundary. And we're doing a practice that helps us practice setting them and maintaining them energetically. So, that said, let's rise and move. So let's just find ourselves here. There's so much. Let's just find ourselves here in the center of us. Breathing, settling into the body. We're going to scan from toe to head. So we're going to feel our foundation on the feet, on the floor, and sense the balls of the feet and the heel, a tripod connection. Notice if your weight is more forward or back, or leaning left or right. Notice if you're slightly rotated one direction or another. We're just checking in and becoming aware of our alignment currently. Breathe and notice. Moving up from our feet to our ankles. Just keep following your internal landscape up the body and noticing if you have any sensations at all. any temperature, any texture, any vibration, any discomfort, any tightness, any expansiveness. Just notice. And even just this practice of noticing without trying to change it is important, because it can be a reflex. As soon as we see something that we don't think belongs, we try to eradicate it. And that becomes how we deal with everything that we see that we feel like doesn't belong. How we do anything tends to be how we do everything. And so this is how we can also begin to notice how we are oriented to the world, our patterns, how we show up. How we do one thing can lead us to how we do everything. What's ready to be shifted, changed, or released, or accepted. And sometimes acceptance actually gets left off the list. Sometimes there just needs to be a deep acceptance of some aspect of ourselves to bring things back into harmony. And sometimes we just need to talk to a part to bring it into agreement about how we want to be now, and reassure that part that we are able to experience what they're protecting safely, because we are different now. We are no longer a child experiencing it that doesn't have power, authority. We are now in a place of choice. Keep breathing as you're scanning, noticing. Sometimes when you're noticing, you might even feel releases happen because attention is creative. Focus is creative. So we can use that as a superpower, or to create more pain for ourselves, or more joy, more experience of the same thing, or something different. Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that the things that serve us, meaning things that are aligned with what we're creating, our vision, our purpose, which we often label as good. That's what I'll mean when I say good. And things that are out of alignment or don't serve us to move toward our vision is what we can call bad, for the sake of conversation. Notice the quality of your breath. Do you have trouble taking a deep breath and expanding into the belly? Is there restriction below your sternum here in the diaphragm? A lot of times when we overeat, the stomach can move up and actually inhibit the expansion of the diaphragm, which can decrease our ability to expand and oxygenate with our breath. If you have any restriction, just take your fingers, place it on the place where you feel tension. What can also restrict it is our psoas. When our psoas is tight, it can pull us into a flex position, put stress on the back. It can be a really intense place of emotional holding, the psoas. So even as you put your fingers there and just touch the place of tension, wherever it is, touch your place of tension, wherever you feel it, wherever you found it, and begin to breathe into it. And just notice what happens when you just focus and breathe into it. And you can ask yourself, talking to your own heart, talking to the intelligence that runs your body, what is here for me? What would you like me to know? You may be able to give it a name. It may just be a feeling. Just notice if your body wants to move in any way. Right now we're just working at the level of sensation and then asking a question. Begin to add a little vocalization, a little noise, if you like, to your exhalations. And add a sway. Wherever your tension is being held. If it's on the lower portion of you, or it's better access sitting down, go ahead and sit. I'm going to continue breathing. And do this with me if you'd like. Continue breathing and see if you can follow the tension that you find. Seven pounds of pressure is all you need to begin to release fascia, which is where the emotions tend to be stored. Breathe and just touch it. The good thing about working with the body is that you actually don't need to label things to create some space. You just need to acknowledge it. Just notice if your breath is able to take more of a fullness and expansion, or if there's a quality of the sensation that you felt that's changed. And now what we'll do is begin with our wrists and create some synovial fluid here, just creating some movement. And we'll quickly go to the elbows and then right into the arms, turning the palms upside down to go backwards. And then we're going to reach. Lateral flexion of the spine often is blocked by held emotion. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Let's set the intention of creating space. Pushing the hips back and creating pendulum swings with the arms. Allow the body to move around the spine. And then allow the upper torso, the torso to move. Bring yourself back to a place where you can just feel yourself. And just notice I have a little rumbling in the belly. Another thing that can block the breath is stuck feces. So if you need to empty your intestines, sometimes you have blockages that create tightness in the abdomen that restricts the breathing. And so you might look into a detox or cleanse of some kind, or some gentle massage that increases motility. Yeah, so I've created some space. Just notice if you have more space than you had before. Space might feel like a softening of the body. It might feel like you can take deeper breaths without restriction. You might just have a sense of ease. And so that's what I meant when I said, we create space. So we're just creating a little space. If there's something that showed up for you, then that means that there's deeper work to be done. And this isn't the place to do it. The place to do it is from a higher perspective, where you change your actual identity, which changes all aspects of self, right? But releasing can feel really good. So it has a place. I do it all the time. Let's move into boundary now. Being able to tell where we are. And so let's just place a hand on the heart and close your eyes gently if you like. I invite you to just be with your breath. Focus on the breath. With every exhale, soften more and more. And notice that in this softening, whether you can feel your heartbeat under your palm. Try and get so open and so close to yourself that you can feel your heartbeat. So still, so quiet. Once you have that felt sense of vibration of your own heartbeat in your hand, imagine that you have a light, blue, white, perhaps light, coming down through your center from as far up in the heavens as is possible, infinitely so, down to the center of you, down to the center of your feet, and anchoring into the core of the earth. And just see that light. Look right behind your eyes or right behind your forehead and notice the light. Maybe even a light forming there. She's so loud. Just stay focused on the light. I can see it. It's very vivid and bright. And this sense of connectedness is always available to you. This here, connection to all and everything. All and everything. The body is a wonderful place for connection. It is not, however, who we are. And if then we are not the body, but this otherness. Focus now on the otherness. that is not the body? What is it? Who is it that's watching it? Who is it that's thinking? What intelligence is beating your heart? So let's then start to expand this light that we see that's running down and connecting to this light right behind the eyes. Start to expand it until it fills up your forehead, fills up your face. Follow it down as it lights up every cell in your body. See yourself illuminated, glowing with this beautiful, bright light. White, maybe bluish. Every cell of your body. And now expand that light just outside, just beyond the skin, and let it surround you. And now imagine someone that you just really love, whose energy you love, who you love being around, who you love to embrace. Maybe you love kissing or holding hands, or maybe just snuggling up next to you. You're just happy to see them and love spending time in their physical energy. Love hearing the sound of their voice. And just notice how you feel. Keep the light shining within you, surrounding you. And then think about something else. Let's think about puppies. Think about concrete now. Think about tree bark. Think about the dirt. Think about a speck of sand. Focus on the breath now. And now imagine someone whose energy or presence or voice doesn't feel in alignment or feel good to have on you or around you, in you. Maybe someone you have a conflict with currently or carry resentment for. Just notice how you feel. What happens to the light? What happens to the feeling? And now let's gently bring that light back to its full vibration, filling it up in every cell, even with their presence there. Allowing yourself to still shine, but knowing that this light has make it more solid. Make it a bit more solid so it feels like there's a barrier, but that's flexible because we're not trying to lock ourselves in. We just want to hold a line that feels good for us. Now expand that sense of solidity as far out as you need to in order to feel good with this person still in the room, still in your mind. This is a boundary. And if you have trouble doing it, you'll see it also reflected in the movement we'll do today. And we can work on this, on the resilience and the integrity and the ability to create and hold this space between our joy and another's misalignment with it. Let people operate whatever frequency they do and be unaffected. You determine how you feel. A lot of times the shift that we need is in the attachment that we have to either the relationship or a need to feel a certain way in order to be seen a certain way, to be seen as nice or, some people pleasing or perfect or agreeable. And it doesn't allow us to hold our boundary. And now go ahead and allow yourself to shift your focus back to your breath. Maybe you need to see some puppies or some concrete or some dirt or a speck of sand again first to clean the slate. And so let's bring one foot forward. My baby, she's so sweet. She wants to touch my feet. I'm going to bring the camera down a little so you can see my feet. That's a little too low. Okay, there we go. So we're going to put our right foot forward and our left foot back a little and turn it out a little bit. Bring our right hand in front of our chest with fingers touching and our left hand to our hip. And about 60% of our weight will be leaning forward. And you want to bring your hand to the center of the chest. And the arm is slightly bent. And we're breathing here. Feeling of slight extension in the spine. And here's how we hold a boundary. You can have thoughts of no, no. And you can say that in a way, no, just notice the quality of your no. No, 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 no. And say it until it feels right for you. Sometimes it might start out nice, like no, 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 or you find that your fingers are separated because you tend to not be able to hold the boundary and you let the energy through. Maybe your hand is to the side because you kind of hold it, but you kind of let it slip sometimes. Here in the center, energetically holding the boundary. You can imagine that same light in your forehead, expanding through every cell of your body, lighting you up, illuminating you, and then expanding beyond the skin, surrounding you. And say this again, no. That felt good. It was assertive, not aggressive. No, like I'm saying no. I don't want that. That's far enough. But I don't need to jump out of my skin. I'm not angry. I'm just letting you know where the line is. And I'm reminding myself where it is. That's all. And allow yourself to come out of that. And just notice how you feel, how it felt to come out of it, maybe even how it felt to go into it. Often it's uncomfortable to say no, or we might have emotion coming up that is disproportionate to the moment because we've held resentment for so long and not expressed our boundary fully in other places. And the anger about that comes up, the pain of that comes up, the hurt of that comes up. And we might be over enthusiastically communicative about someone who may not even actually be crossing our boundaries, but looks like the person that did, or they started to come closer than we like. So just notice this for yourself today, your proximity to people and how it feels in your body. You can go ahead and just do a small practice for movement's sake. I love to just stretch my calves as they're connected deeply to my foundation, my feet, and switch sides. And then we'll do a little lateral hip movement. So side to side, just moving our hips a bit, circles. And fold down toward the floor. Breathing. And walk your feet closer to each other. And just let yourself hang. This is one way we can let go. Breathing. Roll back up. And let's open the chest and pull the arms back. You can let the head drop back if it feels good. Breathing. And fold forward. Hi, baby. Breathing. Hi. And fold, come back up. And open the chest again. And one more time, fold forward. Breathing deeply into the hips. See them expand with every inhale. And let them soften with every exhale. You can soften your knees a little. Softening the knees can often help to soften the hips. And from here, we'll just create a little space. These pants are pretty sticky. All right, so we're going to bend one knee at a time. Just letting the knee bend and then straightening it. Bending alternately left and right knee. Letting the hips move with it. Breathing. Breathing. And roll up. And one more time, we're opening our heart to the sky, opening the chest, letting the upper back open. And fold forward one last time. And roll up. So boundaries are not just for us. They are also for other people. Sometimes our being courageous enough to hold a boundary gives someone else enough information to be self-reflective about how they're being with you, with themselves, with other people. And so it's a loving thing to do, create a boundary that feels good for you so people know how to be with you. And it's a loving thing to do for yourself. And more than other people respecting our boundaries, the deeper affect usually comes from us not respecting our own boundaries. And it's never really a conscious choice. You don't say, I'm going to just F my boundary today. Generally, it's an unconscious thing, a pattern we're in, where we're trying to please, or we prioritize something over ourselves, which is usually also a pattern. And so it can often be this almost this unconscious thing that we do that we justify. We always have a really good reason for doing it, or not doing what we say, not keeping the promise to ourselves, not following through. And so it's really a wonderful practice to just be in touch with the truth of how we feel and really learn to give an expression to it. So sometimes we don't have language for it all the time, but to know how you feel is to be able to express it to other people. Yeah, it's to be expressive, right, baby? You're gonna bark? Yeah. To be expressive, tell them. Yeah, exactly. You express it. And when you can express it, then you can hold it, because then people will know what you need. And if they would like to, yes, align with what it is that you need, they can. So a lot of times we have these unspoken boundaries, and then we just are angry with people for crossing them, but they don't even know that they have. Or we're angry with ourselves. We don't even know why, but it's usually because we crossed the boundary. Either have conflicts with our values, we've done something out of alignment with our own values, or we're trying to force something that is contrary to something we believe is true. Yes. And so let's end with setting an intention for the day. Yes, baby. You want to go outside? And wee outside? And wee outside? Or you want to play? Okay, you want to play. And so just decide, know that you are the all, and that you get to choose how you show up today for yourself and for those that you love, and for the example that you set in the world, or the leadership that you adopt and choose to fulfill in the world. Today, my intention is to show up in the fullness of myself, with presence, clarity, and an open heart. If you'd like to take a minute to visualize you living in your becoming, I invite you to do so. Feel it fully. What is it that you're creating that you need more of the body for? You need to be able to hold it. It's more abundance. You need to become abundance. If you want more love, you have to be more love. If you want more peace, you have to be more peace. Excellent. So I hope that was helpful to someone who needed to hear some of that, and maybe experience what it's like to hold the boundary energetically, to sense yourself and other in the world, and distinguish between them, and also know that they're all interconnected. If no one's told you today, I love you. Tap in, rise up, and have a powerful day.